Open up.
A dragon? Gods preserve me.
It would be too much to hope that's nothing to do with us, wouldn't it?
I suggest we admire it from afar.
That thing could swallow us in a gulp.
Feeling illithid? You really did it, huh? Not worried about adding more illithid into the mix? Well, what can I say? You look fine, smell fine, seem fine. And yet, you're more mind flayer than ever. Hope you don't expect me to follow your lead in this. Do they? I'm not sure either of us can say one way or the other. We don't know what the costs might be just yet. Good. And you know, keep an eye on yourself. If you start feeling loopy, shout. We don't know what these tadpoles are capable of.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like to be a god, to know yourself, to be untouchable, to be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. If it takes the death of a god to stop you, I'd say your ambition has gotten somewhat out of hand. Not that I'm one to talk, of course. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worst comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls.
It was bad enough having just one of those tadpoles forced upon us. I can scarcely believe you actually inflicted another on yourself. On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from, and what lies at the end of that path. I never expected ceremorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it. And some might say eels and turnips boiled in milk is a delicacy. But some are fools. I'll make my own mind up.
Well, no tentacles yet. I suppose we can consider that a success.
Keyncha, no good will come of devouring a gaith worm, no matter what you might think.
You've no room. Dismiss your weakest warrior.
Soldier? Really? Really? Oh, fine. I'll be here eating dirt or whatever.
Curious. I drained you dry. Yet your body seems no more worse for wear. Perhaps I might find use for it again. Mark my words. This power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the gaith tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven. And when the tadpole has stretched to every pore and slithered through every vein, what then? It won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My faith in Vlaakith will guide me, and my own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power. One couldn't, and one shouldn't. Do as you like. The loss is not so much mine as yours. You made it abundantly clear. Speak. Mark you might consume all the gate tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven. Perhaps you... No, that's absurd. When the tadpole has stretched to every pore and slithered through every vein, what am I to do then? It won't hear my screams. It won't care if I beg. I will be remade in its image. My faith in Vlaakith will guide me, and my own might will sustain me. I have no need of this depraved power. You might be right. The Githyanki have long studied Geich and used what we've learned. The Zaithisk itself was devised from such knowledge. The tadpole is perhaps not just a curse, but a weapon I can twist and mold to my advantage. Very well. I will swallow my disgust and avail myself of the parasite's powers.
Soldier.
Gone gods. Watching you consume that tadpole was more disgusting than the tadpole itself. Though, I suppose that's not what you wanted to talk about. I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you've taken a Lithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. I appreciate where you're coming from. Truly, I do. But these parasites are quite literally illithid weapons of war. And I'm not so certain they won't be turned against us upon consuming them. The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. I think that I can't say I'm not curious. But once you've taken a Lithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. I appreciate where you're coming from, but these parasites are quite... Well met. I think that... I can't say I'm not curious, but once you've taken a Lithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. But these... My father once said... So it was after I don't remember much of the battle. But I remember drying the boy's tears after. Tell that to the boy. It makes me angry at the monsters, angry at myself. The Frontiers demanded a blade. And so and it's having a word with you as my ally. That's the...
safeness.
What are you doing? Hold up before they see you, Gresham! Got more important things to watch than my harassing tongue. Look! That lot are swarming all over the bridge. I don't know what they want, but it can't be good. I'm going to find another way around. You ought to do the same. I doubt a fight against them would go your way. What? Just follow you around? I go my own way. Alone. Nobody. Just another harassing fool trying to stay alive. There's plenty of us around. Rag. That's it. I'm getting out of here.
Drop your weapons!
I'll feed your innards to the ants before I do that, Istik.
This is your last chance!
No, look up. That was your last chance, Istik. Now burn!
Stop wasting time, Beretta. You're not here to play with the locals.
Of course, Kithrak. We merely sought to...
No excuses. Question, kill, then move on. Find the weapon. Our queen watches us. Fail her at your peril. Stay clear of those Gith. Even the Blade of Frontiers has his limits.
What's on your mind? I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
Speak. It is done. Blackets will be done.
Yes, Kithrak. We shall find it. so far, Kithra?
Ryder, my time is short. Lead me to...
Shh! Such a familiar tone. Were I not merciful, I would slice the skin clean from your meat. Yet you are not bleeding, for I am nothing if not merciful. Your name, child?
Lae'zel.
Lae'zel. Proud, regal, even. You will call me Gestil Kithrak.
Voss, Knight Supreme. The Queen's silver, the Queen's sword.
I am who you say. A Geich vessel has fallen from the sky, Lae'zel. Thieves aboard have taken a weapon most precious. Take word to your creche. You are to join our search. Speak up, child. Affirm your mandate.
My mandate, Gestil Kithrak, is to locate this creche. I was infected aboard a Geich ship and need to be purified. Your mandate is to aid me.
Purified? Oh, Lae'zel, why must the truth be so bitter? Soon your skin will go gray, and your blood will run silver. You will shed your skin to become Geich. Only in death are the infected cleansed. You will give us the weapon, then you will bend your head for the sword.
Stand down, Knight. I do not have what you seek.
Our Queen's word binds me. Beretha, see that her skull is split and the tadpole crushed. Then examine her corpse. I will take word to the Undying Queen. To Denos, to the sky!
Going.
It's Alan!
to waste.
Swift as my feet can.
Ad lapidem. Interiam via.
Taking position. My path be true. On I go.
Someone in this wretched world has what we need.
Yes, Kipper. We shall find it.
Risen Road, closed due to inclement weather. Seek marked detour.
Still breathing, despite everything. A hero at heart.
Lae'zel, have you ever done a good deed just for the sake of it?
I have performed deeds well and efficiently. Is this what you mean?
Not exactly, but you answered my question.
Look at these gouges. Tore through rock like it was butter.
Welcome to Joaquin's Rest. West Baldur's Gate, East Elturel.
Have you wondered what people will say, Will, when they find out the monster hunter is becoming a monster?
I've faced countless perils and conquered them all. This will be no different.
I've always had a soft spot for the confident ones. They always disappoint, though.
saw you training those children. You're so gentle. That's not how I was taught.
Cruel words strengthen neither heads nor hearts, Shadowheart.
I wouldn't quite say that. I learned a lesson, after all.
And came to resent your tutor, I bet. I taught them to fight, not to hate.
Is it his inside to turn to butter?
Front lines is bored.
So, Will, what was the Blade of Frontier's toughest kill?
Ah, it was a great scrap. A hungry minotaur with a hankering for human flesh. An axe-bearing mountain of fur she was. Gave me a nasty scar.
I hope you don't mind if I don't ask to see it.
Be a big ol' boy. That's the that of it, eh? I'm talented.
You look like you think you're hard. Mess with us, and you'll end up like this bleeder. Don't matter who he was. He ain't nothing but a stain now. Just like you'll be if you don't clear off. Oh, you're real tough. Bullying a kid? Sod off, or I'll fetch my mum. She was as tough as wolf meat before the Absolute came along. Now, she could punch out a dragon. You could curdle warg milk with that ugly mug. You seen one of them Noldok? Stupid, dead bastard! Give him a good kicking! He deserves it! Yeah! Right in the nashes! You're all right. He killed my mum and dad! Made a bloody orphan of me!
I almost feel bad for the runt. Almost.
I ain't bothered about it. Better off without him. Stupid old geezers should have put up more of a fight. Don't mean we can't enjoy putting the boot into this prick a stick, though. You seem...